get to do shows as a double bill very often. What usually leads to that?
Well, we get to do them every now and then, not as much as we'd like. So many times we pull out the driveway about midnight and he goes one way and I go the other. But we love it when we meet in the middle, and it usually leads to us going home together.
I want to say congrats on being the artist in residence over at the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. A few people. And how's it been going? Have you done some shows yet? And then I think you've got one coming up Monday night.
We've done two. We've got one more to go. That'll be this Monday night. Yes.
How did you think through this opportunity? What did you want to make of it?
Well, first of all, it was such an honor because I've been to so many different functions there at the Hall of Fame, and they've always just been so special. And first of all, I wanted mine to be special, and it has been special. The guests that I had the first night, it was me and the steel guitar, and it had Weldon Myrick, who played on all of my records for years and years and set the standard for the steel players on my records. And then we had Robbie Turner, who's a great steel player, worked with Waylon Jennings for years, and he's been on my records as well. And Robbie was there, and then Gary Carter that played with us tonight. You could see his talent, and it's great to see that he's continuing what Weldon started and others have started. So I wanted the people to know not only how much that the steel guitar influenced my records, but how much my records influenced the steel guitar players throughout the land. And then the second one was about the songs, and we did songs because I had the new record coming out the day after that show. We did songs that I had written with Marty and Costas. We did songs that I had written with Dallas Frazier, or songs that Dallas had written for the record, and songs that Marty and I had written, and even did the first song I ever wrote before I came to town. So we had a wonderful time, and people were great. Can't wait. This one coming up Monday will be about the girls that influenced me, and hopefully the girls I've influenced.
For sure. Speaking of the new record, I just thought I'd bring along a copy because I popped it in the car on the way out here, and it's wonderful. Long Line of Heartaches on Sugar Hill. And yeah, like you said on stage, first time in a while.
It is, but what I really wanted it to be was a continuation. Just like at the Hall of Fame, my part now at 70 years old is to teach, and to carry on what I was blessed with in the 60s, and to show them it's still alive and well. And this record is, I want it to be just as if when I quit recording to stay home with my kids, that I could pick up and start over because my musical tastes haven't changed. And we were able to do that with the help of Marty Stewart helping me write songs and produce the record and play guitar on it, and Mick Connolly doing the engineering, and all the great musicians that were on it. My band is on it, as well as Paul, one of the fabulous superlatives, Paul Martin, is on it. So we had some great times.
And it looked from the pictures like you were in Studio B as well.
Absolutely. And I recorded most of my hit records in Studio B.
Right, so that was like going back home. And it hasn't changed. I mean, the beauty of that room is you walk in there and set the guitars up, and it could be 30 years ago. Yeah,
and the main thing is the sound hasn't changed. It's still there it's just, that sound is still there just to love on you while you're singing.
So Marty was the producer.
Yes.
Now, what does that really mean? What can he do to make you and a bunch of great musicians in that room better?
Everything Marty puts his hand to gets better, because he's a genius at what he does, and he has so much heart, and he has the talent, he has the wisdom, he has the tradition, he has all of it. As I said, he and I co-wrote 5 of the songs on the album. He helped me pick the other songs. We just walked it through together from start to finish. He played rhythm guitar, but he also played different other guitar parts. He felt like Rick Wright, him and Rick, he just danced all the way through the record with each other. And it was everything that Marty did. I mean, from all the way through, Marty he's great.
You talk in the bio on this record about feeling fortunate to start your career in the 1960s in an age of country music, a particular time. What was it about that time that you feel matched what you did well, and why did you feel lucky?
Well, I think when I came to Nashville in '64, they said there was room for 1 million, but only one of each. You had to be your own individual self. You had to find out who you were and bring yourself to the table, because if you sounded like anybody else, then you didn't get anywhere. And in the difference of today, where someone has a record, the next record comes out and sounds like it. It was a very individualistic thing, and I was blessed to be in a time like that where I could be who I was and be accepted. I mean, you go from Waylon Jennings to Jerry Reed to Hank Snow to Eddie Arnold to, you know, to Dottie West to, you know, to Kitty Wells to Loretta Lynn, you know, to Porter Wagoner, and, you know, so many genres, so many different voices that came out, and also the musicians in that day. 2 notes into the song, you knew. It's kind of, we picked our own little team of people to work with, and you knew who the singer was before the singer said a word.
Right. And I really wanted to ask you about, your voice is one that is, you know, it's big, and you get to really you push a lot into it, and it would sound more like some of the pop singers of that time, instead of the sound of, say, a Kitty Wells' voice was not hitting the big notes, the long arcs, the really full female, full-throated voice. Was that something that you felt like you were doing, that there were any models in country music, women? I mean, it wasn't Gene Shepard's sound, it wasn't Kitty Wells' sound, and was that something you felt was new?
I never thought about it, except that I listened to all kinds of music growing up, and I picked what I liked. The thing that I picked from Gene Shepard is her voice was so clear, her words, you could hear every word, she was right on pitch, and she was one of the models that I modeled, because I thought, this is so great, because when she sang, it was so out front and it was there. Jimmy C. Newman had all the curls and I love that.
That's true.
And then of course George Jones, you can't beat that, and there's just so many that I never really patterned after any one, but I'm sure I picked up things that I liked from each one and used it.
Sure. Well, any final words about this record now that it's out and out there, and you've gotten to hear some feedback on these songs and the performances of these songs? I mean, it must feel terrific to have it out there.
It's very exciting. As I said earlier, it's my first one in 13 years, and once I got done, I think, why did I wait so long? But I've loved it. It was a joy to make, to work with Marty and Mick Conley and all the band, and especially to have the Sundowners on the record. That was a big thrill for me. And I just hope the people that get it will enjoy it as much as we enjoyed putting it together.
I think they will. It's back there for sale, and I'm enjoying it myself. Thank you. Connie Smith, we appreciate seeing you.